Hi friends! Today we are continuing in my SPICES series. To quote directly from the Scouts Australia website, the key areas of social, physical, intellectual, emotional and spiritual make up the foundational basis of a person's character. So having a framework to remind us to be social might seem a bit odd to some people. Rover Scout crews tend to have a lot of socialising, even when that wasn't actually the aim of the night. But the social framework refers to the development of relationships and networking, to the sense of belonging in a group and to understand differences between people. This can also refer to awareness and to issues of diversity and inclusion in both large and small groups of people. So within your crew, you might notice that one person is a naturally confident leader, another person is really good at maths or really good at organising fundraisers, or they love being outside. And these people are the driving force for getting you outside, for running events, for being the treasurer. If you like maths, you're probably the treasurer. This is where the idea of interdependence comes in. You as a crew are aware of each other's strengths, and together you get opportunities to give every member a chance to shine, while also benefiting the crew. This is the concept of social development in SPICES. Alright, now, something you may be aware of is that Scouts used to be an exclusively male group. Scouting was intended for boys to have guidance in the years after the war, so they would grow into patriotic, capable and devoted men. Obviously, I am not a male. In Australia, Scouts began including females in the 1970s, and believe it or not, America, it has not led to the real nation of the organisation. But Rovering to Success was written by Lord Baden Powell, and at the time he is writing for Scouts, who are exclusively male. While the concepts can be transferable to females as well, even the part where Baden Powell warns men to be careful in choosing their wives, I will be keeping the original quotations and writings as they are. Lord Baden Powell wanted Scouts to be a brotherhood. He was passionate about raising men who could be trustworthy and honest and thrifty and, crucially, friendly. The friendliness is part of what has allowed him to travel the world and encounter people of different cultures, most notably being the encounter that led him to the Scout handshake. According to the Ashanti warrior version of the story, then Colonel Baden Powell saluted them with his right hand, but the Ashanti chiefs offered their left hands and said, "In our land only the bravest of the brave shake hands with the left hand, because to do so we must drop our shields and our protection." They knew of Baden Powell's bravery because they had fought against him and with him, and they were proud to offer the left hand of bravery. So while there are a few versions of this story, the understanding that the left handshake has been developed out of trust and friendship continues to this day. Baden Powell himself writes in Rovering to Success that being social and friendly is integral to the Scouting way. The Rover Brotherhood is not only a brotherhood, but a jolly brotherhood, with its camp comradeship, with its badges, with its secret signs, and with its dens, or meeting places, the world over. He also highlights its importance by putting it in the original Scout lore. A Scout is a friend to all and a brother to each other Scout, no matter what social class the other belongs to. Or, as he put it 2 lines later, don't be a snob. So, to be sure we live up to our brotherhood ways, I've compiled a few crew night ideas intended to build strong relationships within your crew and other crews. With your crew, you can do a communication games night. Play games such as Chinese Whispers, 2 Truths and a Lie, etc. to build and improve communication within the crew. You can plan a murder mystery party or a Dungeons and Dragons night. Plan or purchase a mystery murder kit that contains a story of a murder, clues and character backgrounds. Think of it as a real-life Cluedo game. Another option is Dungeons and Dragons nights. These encourage teamwork and creative thinking. You can do a scavenger hunt. Give each team a list of items to find, but give restrictions to make the game harder. For example, time and area constraints. You can do a skills night. Each person brings a skill to teach to others. Skills can vary in their usefulness. And you can do a crew camp, which is not exactly a crew night, but it's very good for building and strengthening those inter-crew relationships. With other crews, you can host a team games night. This includes teams gaining points for various competitions, such as egg and spoon race, tent building, knot tying, etc. You can have a dance or karaoke party. This one works best when everyone is willing to participate. You could do a trivia night. Multiple crews can get involved in this one. You could have a halfway dinner. You could meet for dinner at a venue that is halfway between both your crews. And number 5, camps and moots. Again, not a crew night, but definitely useful for building relationships within scouting. So these are just some ideas for the social framework. Obviously, we don't need to be encouraged to be social, but these are just a few simple ideas to get your crew out of those endless games of Cards Against Humanity. Just remember that the best nights aren't necessarily the ones that have the most preparation or are the most organized, but the ones where you have the most fun because everyone participates. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it's given you a few ideas on crew nights, a little bit of insight into the social history of scouting, and possibly you've learned a thing or two that you didn't already know. That's all from me this time. Have fun and don't forget to be prepared.